My favorite thing about Niagara County is something that is tragically unexplored by most of our visitors, and that is the rural part of Niagara County. All of the agritourism, and the rural part of Niagara County is so beautiful and tragically underexplored.
So we are here with Kurt, the vineyard manager. Kurt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your story and how did you get into this business?
Well, I started doing sommelier training back in 2004 and got a job at a different winery and quickly realized I was more interested in chemistry than aesthetics. So started working at the winery as an assistant winemaker. I took a little bit of a hiatus. I was running the viticulture program at Niagara County Community College, and then in 2019 came back to become the vineyard manager here. And we're very fortunate that we have our 14 acres on this property and another 15 that we manage down the road, that we can grow incredible Vitis vinifera-based wines right here in people's backyards. Another thing that I love about Freedom Run Winery is how we got our name. Freedom Run is an Underground Railroad reference. There's, of course, a lot of Underground Railroad history here in Western New York. Freedom Run is a reference to the Niagara Escarpment, which runs through our property. The Niagara Escarpment is a big geological feature that the escaping slaves could find and follow to the narrow part of the Niagara River to get to Canada. So Freedom Run is the Niagara Escarpment.
Wow, that's amazing. What a great thing to honor as a name for this area, this winery. So I am here with Sean Manning, the owner of this winery and vineyard, and I think a lot of people want to know, what is it like? What is the experience like of owning a winery like this? What would you say is your favorite part, Sean?
I think my favorite thing of this is not about me. This is about us. And every single decision that I make here, and my wife, the decisions that we make are for one thing. What is the good of the community, of the whole, of our group? Success that makes my heart feel good is that I've got 29 other people here that thrive and live and support their families every day. We're closed 4 days out of the year. And even then, these guys are still working because the grapes don't go away, the apple trees don't go away, right. And people are still moving in and out of the barns. And we have weddings every weekend. We got 2 this weekend, and we're still right now just starting apple season. And here's my motto on that: I don't weigh anybody going in and out. I want you to go in as much as you can while you're picking.
Yes.
Right. Come hungry. So and that's my whole philosophy on it. And you know what? I'm blessed. I'm a really, really, thank you, dear Lord, I'm a blessed guy because of everybody I have around me.
All right, Kurt, why don't you tell us about where we are now?
All right, so we are in a clearing in the middle of our 1,000-tree apple orchard. We have 4 varieties for you pick. We have Vajana Gold. We're sitting in the middle of the Ida Reds. We've got Portlands, and then half of the place is for Crispins. So they all ripen at different times. Starting usually around the second week of September, we start our U-Pick season, and people can come in. And we actually do a whole program with schools. If your school registers with the winery, then we will give 20% of however much you pick to the school district that you choose.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, Kurt, so tell us where we are right now.
So we are in our barn. It was built in 1826. We use it for events, weddings, anniversaries, birthday parties, all sorts of things. The place was restored with private money. There were a lot of old barns in Niagara County, but they can't all be used for public events because there was grant money available. But if you took that grant money, you can only use that space for agriculture. Because this was stored with private funds, we can do whatever we want in this space. So my favorite thing about events in this space is when we get to do the reveal for the bride. We're standing here in front of the Vineyard Manor House. We like to call it here at the winery the Stone House because it was built with stone from the Erie Canal. The canal was dug in this area in 1825. The house was built in 1826, and there's a lot of houses in Niagara County that were built with canal stone. But they're all short and squat, which makes a lot of sense for the area, you know, being efficient as far as heating and all that stuff. The 16-foot ceilings on the first floor are a little bit impractical for heating and cooling, but certainly dramatic when you walk in the building.
So we are here right along Spring Lake with Tamre Varallo. Thank you for having us here today.
It's a pleasure.
So what can you tell us about Spring Lake Winery and how you got your start here?
Well, we have 3 generations of wine-making members of the family. The family migrated from Italy to Argentina. My husband was born in Argentina. So we have a real passion for making homemade wine. We knew that Riesling was great for Western New York, so we planted the Riesling grape here, and we import the rest of the grapes, but make it in our homemade winemaking style. And our winemaker is our son, Dominic. He has a natural knowledge of winemaking through the generations of making wine at our home, but he comes up with new things for the local grape as well.
That is really cool. And I just have one more question for you today.
Sure.
It's something we ask everyone that we interview here at Explore Niagara, and that is, what is your favorite thing about Niagara?
I have to say Niagara Falls because I was born and raised in Niagara, and that was my playground. And I'm just lucky enough to have a new playground now here at Spring Lake Winery with our acreage and water, and but definitely Niagara Falls.
I'm here with Jim Baker, the owner of this winery. And Jim, it is so nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your story? How did you get into this business?
So I'm an aerospace engineer by training. I worked as a mechanical engineer in the aerospace world in the defense industry in the greater Western New York area for about 40 years. I worked at Sierra Research in Cheektowaga for about 20 years, but I worked at a startup company making ultrasonic fingerprint machines. I have 5 patents from there. I worked at the old Bell Aerospace facility in Falls in the rocket engine group, where I was the head of the structural and thermal analysis. So I have stuff in space. I have 5 patents, and so I bring that kind of approach to my winemaking. So it's very science-based, but as an engineer, I'm simultaneously right and left-brained. So I will jump from solving some complex technical problem to doing something very creative and then right back and forth. So this is something that I think some of the best engineers have as a trait. So I bring that kind of approach to my winemaking. So I do a lot of calculations. There's a lot of thought goes into each wine is engineered to be the best that it can from this place.
Vinny, hop, 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 hop. Come here, buddy, hop.
Up on Poppy's that.
Hop, hop.
Oh, good
Yeah, it's a
boy.
pay. So Finn is a purebred, clear sable English Shepherd. And you might think that this wonderful sweet boy is just a pet. But no, he's the vineyard dog. He's a working dog.
He works in the vineyard.
He works in the vineyard. His job is to clear the critters out of the vineyard. So he chases the deer, he chases the turkey,
Wow.
he chases the raccoons, he chases everything about there. His field speed is amazing. He's at a point where he can catch a white-tailed deer. And they're terrified of a wolf thing that runs as fast as they do. So what he's done is he's taught the deer not to come into the vineyard. So they go around, we watch them, they go around the vineyard. They don't come here. So they've saved our grapes. The same with the turkeys and the other critters out there. He does all that, and then he comes in here and he's just this loving, sweet, gentle dog.
He's multiple
greeter.
jobs. He's the greeter.
The greeter. And he's in charge of security at the door.
I love that.
And so nobody goes in and out without a little treat from Mr. Finn. So he's my boy. The story of us becoming the winery is kind of a neat love story. And I say, if life's not a love story, you're not doing it right.
That's true.
My wife and I, Kathy, we've been married 39 years. She's from Jamestown. I am from Herrick, and I grew up in Barker, next town over. But when we were dating, I used to go visit her down the Jamestown area. They had wineries open down there, but not here, 39 years ago. So we used to go visit the wineries as a date. And we were young and in love, and the year was full of romance. And while we were falling in love with each other, while we fell in love with the whole lifestyle of food and wine, and we thought, wouldn't this be wonderful if we could have something like that for ourselves? We're at the point where we're just getting into harvest, and we've got the harvester ready to pick. This is a fantastic machine. Not a lot of people realize, but the original grape harvester was created in Niagara Falls.
Oh, wow.
The very first grape harvester in the world was created in Niagara Falls.
Amazing.
Yes, and so it's evolved into a worldwide system of machinery. Probably the best ones are from France. Now, this Gregoire is from France. But the original one was right here in Niagara Falls.
Right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I see the things that remind me of my youth growing up here, I see wild goldenrod growing at the end of our row.
Yeah.
I see white asters growing at the end of that row. And somewhere around there will be a purple flower that is New York ironweed. And these three things are the things that speak fall and harvest to me. They just speak to me. These are all naturally occurring plants here that just scream fall. So this is after we had a late spring frost, and we've lost about 70% of our grapes this year. So normally these will be even fuller than this. There's the bane of our existence, poison ivy. I'm trying to eliminate that from the vineyard.
Wow.
We are one of New York's first certified sustainable vineyards. We participated in the pilot study. We had been doing it for years, but it was a self-certification. But now we've got actually the recognition of being, third-party certified as a sustainable place. So that means here that we care about the environment. We use no herbicides on the property.
Wow.
We do this all this work we do under vine culture is all by cultivation in my hand. We have to take great care as to where our surface water runs to. We have 18 Mile Creek across the road from us. Our property drains to a ditch that runs right into 18 Mile Creek. So anything I do here that would be not helpful to that creek would go right to that creek, and I don't want to add anything to the woes of that creek. And we've been blessed with these unbelievable soils here on the banks of 18 Mile Creek. These are sand and gravel soils that are from the ancient Lake Iroquois that used to be here.
Wow.
That drained, 10,000 years ago. But it left us with these beautiful sand and gravel soils. In fact, one place that we have that we love, and we call the hill on this little flat top of ground that we have, is absolutely pure sand. It's an ancient sand dune.
Wow.
From the glacial lake that was here.
Amazing.
So this is interesting. So this is the netting on some of our Pinot grapes. We haven't harvested all the Pinot that we're going to be doing, but you can see behind the netting are some of these beautiful clusters of Pinot Noir grape. Interesting story on the Pinot Noir grape. The name means pine black pine. So it was originally, they named this because it looks like a black pine cone that they used to harvest. And so it looks so much like a pine cone that they says, oh, this is a Pinot
Wow,
Pine
yeah.
cone.
Yeah.
So it's a black pine cone. So they make fantastic wine here in Niagara. We've got some beautiful. We get very, very French style Pinots here. We've got this beautiful sand and gravel soil. You can see the gravel and the sand that's here. This is absolutely ideal growing conditions for Pinot. The result is we get these incredibly French style Pinot. This is the most French style Pinot that I've ever had outside of France. You know, God bless those folks out in Oregon. They're doing wonderful things with Pinot, but they're not French. This is incredibly French. As these guys age, they become stunning, stunning French Pinots.
Amazing. Thank you.
I stress that there's one Niagara, which is this pesky little international border.
That separates the one Niagara. It's the Niagara region.
It's the Niagara region.
That's right.
It's the same escarpment, same Lake Ontario that causes us to be able to make these fantastic wines.
Yep. It's one region with someone years ago decided to draw on a map.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Fed.
Like he's guard your door. Hey, Vinny.
Hey, bud. Hello. Welcome committee is here. Yes.
Oh, I've got a little sample of Pinot Noir juice here that is just starting fermenting. So we're right at the very front end of fermentation. And if you taste this, you'll find this is really very sweet. Wine grapes are about twice as sweet as table grapes. So you get about 10, 11 bricks out of a table grape and about 21 to 22 bricks out of a wine grape. And a bricks is a measurement of sugar. It's the same. It's equivalent to percent sugar. So it's 22% sugar. So have a little taste of that. You can find beautiful fruit juicy, but very, very sweet.
Wow. Yeah, you can really taste it. It is sweet.
Flavor,
Yeah.
But the fruit flavor there is pretty impressive, I think.
Delicious. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Yeah, you can definitely taste how sweet it is. I'm not.
But the cherry fruit that comes through
Yeah.
in Niagara County is just exceptional. That's fermenting Pinot Noir. There'll be carbon dioxide coming off that. You can smell that carbon dioxide. But along with that, some lovely fruit flavors. And aromas, I should say. Aromas.
Beautiful.
Hear it?
Yeah, you can hear it crackle.
It's the CO2 being generated and bubbling up through the wine.
That's amazing.
This is better than Rice Krispies.
It's relaxing too.
This is the mural of the winery. We couldn't do a place like this completely on our own, so we've had an awful lot of help over the years, and we decided that we wanted to pay honor to those folks who helped us along the way, because it is a journey. And so my daughter originally started with this grapevine, and we had some other local artists continue to flesh this out and make this. But we've had the people who have helped us sign a leaf.
Wow.
And so I was able to capture my mom and dad before my dad passed away here. A large number of people. My daughter Katie and my grandson Elliot has the smallest.
Amazing.
So this is just a great tribute to those folks that have helped us along the way.
As it takes a village for sure.
Yeah.
Niagara's Vineyard region is so much more than the final product. This is a land of family and friends, a place of history and art, and a story of love. Love of wine, the people who share it, and most importantly, a love for this area that we're all proud to call home.